Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with.
The cleaning lady's assistant.
Oh gosh, I made a little mess on my keyboard. Nothing that will destroy it,
It was all family fun. Hey,
but
what
I
happened?
have to clean it. So excuse me a moment while
Oh,
I
you
do
did
that.
that. You did that.
Well,
Our connected keyboards made you mess up something on my
oh
keyboard.
no.
Yeah, it's okay. It wasn't a permanent mess up.
Okay, well I'm done. I'm done messing. I think I got the most worst part of
And
it.
Mr. O says, when you clean something, you make something else dirty.
Well, and Ms. Banshee just says, welcome to TFT.
I already saw that.
Coughing, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Mr. O.
me, Banshee, and
Sonny's
Sunny.
behind.
Sunny's behind.
He's always
He's
behind.
saluting everybody in his own way. Oh dear. Well, Gina, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
You know, I'm just gonna say it's cancer season, and we have another birthday reading tonight. If it stays quiet, we might be able to do yours after this one. But I put you down on the list normally for now. But I'd love to do a birthday reading for you, if not today, on Sunday's show. So
Okay.
let's get
So,
to going.
welcome everybody.
Where's my notes? My notes. My notes. It's Jamie's Cowboy's birthday, and Jamie isn't here yet, but we told Jamie we'd do it at the start of the show.
Right, we agreed on that.
Once we do the card for the
Hey,
collective.
baby.
And why didn't that? There we go. All right. Let's get the show on the road with the card for the collective. And I will be using my Enchanted Blossoms. Okay, that's cool.
For a minute, I thought you said the Gin
Nice.
Blossoms,
The Gin Blossoms.
an obscure punk band you don't
I know, I remember
Okay.
them. I do. I don't ask me about their songs though, because then I'm stuck.
Okay, that's fine. As you may know, Thursday seems to be a pretty slow night for us, so that was why we thought maybe we could just go ahead and do it tonight. But that way you get a reading tonight, and then we'll do it for you Sunday. And we
Yeah.
usually do those right after the card for the collective, so whether you show up at that point or not, you'll know it's there.
Yeah. So either way. Okay, let's see what Mr. O is going to pull out for us. They're all read up right, Mr. O. And they're kind of cardboardy, so just feel free to
We go through
fumble
them.
around there.
There's two.
Uh-oh. Is it? It is. You guys.
Wisdom.
Ooh.
It's a purple iris.
Oh.
Aw. Wait. There it is. Mr. O's fumbling with the
That is
cameras.
really ironic. And I'll
Why?
tell you why in a minute. So,
No,
what is it called again? Wisdom. Oh,
it
it's the
was.
last card. Okay, hold on. Yes, because I've already selected and took a picture of my card for tomorrow from another deck, another floral deck.
And put on
It's
phone.
also Iris, with maybe a slightly different name, but actually I think it's going to be fairly close, maybe. So, the purple iris is about wisdom, and it says for the ancient Greeks, Iris was a goddess who personified the rainbow. Family members would plant irises on the graves of women in the hope that the goddess would guide the deceased to the afterlife. Egypt was also captivated by the iris and planted them around the tombs of kings. Iris oil has been used to clear the lungs and aid with coughing, and in more recent times in perfumes and aromatherapy. Within the past several generations, the iris has exploded into gardens all over the world and with hundreds of variations. You can find almost any color you could hope for. Irises have been featured in paintings and poems throughout history and remain a popular garden and cut flower. Wisdom is associated with aging, but is a trait that should be cultivated and nurtured. We can help insight along by seeking out new experiences, living boldly and facing the struggles of life. Understanding doesn't come from staying safe. Oh, hold on a minute. I just noticed my screen it's probably because of whatever I did earlier, I guess.
I wouldn't know.
Understanding doesn't come from staying safe in your own little bubble and never venturing out into the world. This card asks you to leave your safe spaces behind and gather wisdom wherever you can find it. Experience life, read, do something new, make mental notes on what goes on around you. Stop, listen, and learn from those who are wiser than yourself. In this way, you will gain more wisdom and have the tools to make astute decisions as you move through life. How can I cultivate wisdom? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. And I've often talked about what is it with some of the cards that we have in the tarot, stepping outside that comfort zone. When you stay in your comfort zone, you're not really necessarily learning anything new. Okay, maybe, if you are studying a particular topic or you're immersed in a particular path, you might find new avenues for learning, but you really want to diversify your brain here, your brain cells. It needs that. It needs nourishment. It needs wisdom. It needs all kinds of experiences in order to provide it with wisdom.
Well, I like to think of it in terms of a karmic saying I once heard, which was that um, karma can only happen on the earthly plane. And so if you think about it, learning the lessons of karma can be good or bad, but also you have to step outside of your comfort zone. And so when you're not incarnate, you're in that like comfort zone where karma doesn't really matter because it's not going to really affect you. But when you are incarnate, karma will.
Hi, Estelle.
Hi,
Haven't seen
Estelle.
you in a little
And hi,
while.
Lena.
All right, so yep, I've got the number right. Okay, I've got the list done. I think I've got everybody on it. If I've missed anybody, let me know. And here we go. Maybe. Okay, for some reason. Oh, I know why. Maybe. Not sure, but we'll try that. Nope, that's not going to work either. I can't post the list again. Didn't that happen to me once before? Let me reload the page.
You want me to do it for you?
Yeah, please.
Mhm.
Hi,
Kara.
Kara. At Kara. And let me get out of Safari and come back in because something's wrong. Yeah, this happened once before. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It says view your channel. I go to my channel. Why do I have to, so weird. And there we are. And it'll be your deck, so.
For the birthday reading?
Well,
Sure.
I guess I'll pick a deck. Hold on. Trying to get there. Okay. So that's what we had for the collective. Good luck with that. And let's move on to Jamie's Cowboy's birthday reading.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to use
Hi, Ari.
Flower Child Tarot for this one. Bring a little 60s vibes into this. All right. Hi, Ari.
I put them on the list.
Thank you. Changing the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right. Do you want to shuffle a couple times and cut for me?
Sure.
Oh, Sonny. Just stay off my computer. I'm trying so hard to keep cat hair off my computer.
Give up.
I know. I know.
Can
I
I
said
cut?
cut them. Yes, please. Thank you. All right. What is the first question, Mr. Owen, the birthday spread for
Question
Jamie?
one of the birthday spread. The gift you received last year that you can use to make the most out of this year. And it's the Ten of Wands. Well,
Interesting card.
right. It could be the idea of realizing that you can bear the load. Sometimes that work or other parts of your life become burdensome. But what you learned last year was you can bear that. You may bend a little, but you won't necessarily break.
You might want to move that card down from the print.
Maybe I
There we
don't.
go. That's
I could also.
better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I could
All right.
do that.
So, well, I think the gift from last year is the way that you manage burdens in your life, whether they're mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual, Jamie. The way you handled them and how you managed, that's gonna, some of those lessons you took from that is gonna carry on into this next year. And also, whatever burdens you were carrying, maybe this is where the year this comes to an end now. That some of these burdens are released because that's the gift from last year is carrying them,
It may have
right?
been a particular gift that was a burden in its own way, and you realize that, and that's what you learned. And now, of course, you are free to that.
Some of the burdens we carry are for things that we want to accomplish and do. There might be stress, there might be a heavy workload, whatever the case may be. So it's not necessarily not a gift, but if it was relating to something, turbulent in your life, it seems like the worst part of it's over now.
Card two, the gift of the present moment.
Well, maybe it's about to end. Holy cow. Well,
Oh no!
but the present
It's the
moment. So I think here that the tower, so whatever was holding you back, there's suddenly a reawakening, something that shakes things up and makes you realize that, it's time to let something go and move on, right?
the gift of the present moment is to realize that sometimes within chaos or something unplanned for, something random, is a seed that can further this or that can survive this. And it's just important to realize maybe what those steps you took that led you that way so you cannot necessarily repeat that.
Sonny left a gift a few minutes ago that I really didn't
Uh,
need.
well, one of my coworkers just came back from their trip to Egypt, and they got to ride a camel, and they said this camel farted a lot, and
Oh,
they said it was horrible.
oh dear. So, Jamie, I think that again, it's almost indicating that whatever you've carried into this solar year from last year, is going to be coming to a conclusion soon. Might be a little bit of drama attached to it, but once it's over, it's done. And you will never have to repeat it again, according to
You
the
may have to
tarot
watch it
upright.
burn, though, but maybe there'll be something to enjoy about that.
But that might be a good thing. All right, what's next?
Card 3, the gift from your connections with others in this next year. And it's the reverse Knight of Wands.
Well, the way I look at this in this house in particular is if you are struggling to get something started again, or if you're struggling trying to get a new relationship or, meet new friends, etc., I think others are actually going to come through for you, and help you turn the situation around, whatever it is. I'm looking at that night and realizing that there's some stumbling blocks here, but what are friends for? What are people for? They're there to pick you up and lift you up when you may be struggling a little bit.
Well, maybe this gift is, somebody who knows how to cause a distraction, just sort of rush in and say, hey, everybody, look over this. And then Jamie's can go and do the other thing. So I don't know, but it does feel like it's a startling, random kind of energy, and so maybe your gift with your connection to others is sort of moving things unexpectedly, but not necessarily in the wrong way. Card 4, the gift that will help you work on, achieve, or move forward on your dreams.
Okay, well, there's a message here. It's the Nine of Swords.
It is the Nine of Swords.
So, what is the gift that can help you work on and achieve your dreams? Is by casting fears aside, by recognizing that maybe some of the self doubts or worries that you have about trying to get something off the ground, trying to do something that you're really passionate about, maybe are all up here. Once you realize that and you can throw that out of the equation, you'll be able to move forward with your goals and dreams, right?
That's exactly right. That there are things here that are mostly born from your fears, and you have to realize that they're really just a part of your mental landscape at this moment. There may be things causing you anxiety, but you give them more power by thinking more about them. So the best thing to do is just try to, let them go as figments.
And I'm not saying this is you, Jamie, but sometimes when we have a lot of self doubts or lack confidence in ourselves, we'll make stuff up. We'll make excuses, We'll make up fears, to hold us back and to try to
Yes,
procrastinate more as an excuse for not
I meant to
giving
say
something
that
a
too.
start. So there is that aspect as well. I had to mention that. All
All
right.
right. Card 5, the gift from your spirit guides or ancestors. What do they want you to know or keep in mind for this year? Well, sometimes change is rough and sometimes it really gets stuck and you kind of got to ride it out. Sometimes things become very inert, but you can't give up.
Well, I think the gift from your ancestors is that they want to help you get, that you should call upon them when you feel stuck. You should call upon them
Oh,
when, don't rub too hard, remember? Because he's shedding. You should call upon them when you feel things stagnating in your life. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you change and grow. And like for example, let me get my wand. If you're allowing your fears to get the better of you, they want to be there to support you through that. So, think about that. Think about ways you can call or pray to your ancestors, honor them. If there's one in particular that's always you felt been an ally of yours, if it's a recently passed on relative or even a friend, maybe that's what you need to do, is light a candle and ask for their support.
very good. So finally, the gift of the year this year ultimately will give to you, Jamies. What lessons have you learned or what progress or growth have you achieved by the year's end?
Ah,
Uh-oh. Well, this isn't horrible, but it is the full reversed.
wow.
Want me to go?
If you want, you seem to say
Um, I
Right away,
think
you had a plan.
what the year ultimately gives you is that you realize that sometimes things can be random or can be chalked up to, unexpected events, but it doesn't mean that you don't still try to figure out how to take those steps to get there. The fool is always moving. He's sort of like that, you know, hermit figure, that person who's just bounding off. And so even so, though sometimes there may be some setbacks, you need to get back on that journey.
I think the gift from the year is that you've learned that taking risks or just doing spontaneous things had not served you well. And so you know now that more careful planning, casting aside your fears, but taking it slow, and calling upon help when you need it, even from beyond the veil, as I suggested, is a good idea. And also, if you do get stuck, I also feel here somehow there's a connection between this death card and the Knight of Wands here reversed. And I feel here again that was in the house of your friends or your allies. And I think here you should call upon them for support and help if you're struggling with something in this year. And so that's the thing to do and not take any reckless chances. Pace yourself and go slow. Go slow for the win. Anything else you have to add? Do we want to recap or you want to recap?
Okay, we can do a slight recap.
No. Let's start with where we started. I can't even see it. So what
The
is
Ten
it?
of Wands.
Oh, oh, it's the what of wands?
The Ten of
The Ten of
Wands.
Wands, the burdens. I'm sorry, I can't even see the picture. I should have looked here. The Ten of Wands. So you have a lot of burdens, from this last year that maybe you've released some of them, maybe you're still in the process. And so, but it's all good because this is really building your strength and character. And also, I think they're about to be released with the tower here, right? I'll let you.
Well, my interpretation was that the gift you learned from last year was that your burdens are going to get easier with this year. The tower seems to suggest that's because the whole thing burns down.
Well, I don't know if it's that particular thing, but it's because something happens that's kind of a wake up call that makes you realize you have to move on to something else.
Exactly. And that you realize what the lessons are that you need. So, card three, the gift that your connections to others. I thought that maybe it says that maybe they bring some random chaos that maybe helps you realize um, you can still go forward even if it doesn't go exactly the way you might have been trying to plan.
And I think they can help settle you down and make you realize that haste sometimes makes waste. And, if you take things slower, more deliberately, you will get to the finish line. Count on your friends for some help and support when you need it. Oh, I thought we did add you, Ari. We will add you, but we're in the middle of a reading, so be patient with us.
Okay, so card four, the gift that will help you work on, achieve, or move forward.
Mhm. Allaying your fears, not allowing your fears and your anxieties and your self doubts get the better of you.
Exactly. Maybe sometimes realizing that you make up your fears more than they are realistic. Card five, the gift from your spirit guides or ancestors. What do they want you to know or keep in mind? And I felt that they were saying that, sometimes life does have some stagnation going on, some inertia. And, what Banshee says is maybe call on them, to help you through that when you're feeling that real stuckedness.
I like this card, and I think the ancestors too want you to know that there is a time to grow and change, and there's a time for stillness and stagnation. Sometimes stagnant periods, what is the thing you like to say? Still waters run deep.
Not always.
Okay, but he does like to say that.
Look at me.
So, but I think here sometimes Stagnant periods are times for internal growth, not external growth. And so I feel here, that your ancestors will help you through any kind of times where you feel things are not moving quickly enough. They'll be there. Talk to them, talk to them. I just saw the coolest thing, and I'll bring it up after this reading, Jamie. So hang on for a few minutes. It was in a Washington Post article. I'll talk about it in a minute. But at any rate, they will be here for you. Go ahead.
So I'm not really still waters. I'm more like a babbling brook.
Well, no argument there.
Okay, so
I
the final,
expect you like to say it. I didn't say that's what you were.
it's okay.
Go on.
So the final card is the Fool reversed, and that ultimate lesson. It could be realizing that, of course, everything is random. There's so much random elements going back and forth in some of these cards. So it could be just saying that what you learn really is that you can ride certain opportunities, but you can also choose not to ride the opportunities you're not so sure about.
Well, and that's what we have for you. The Fool, I think to me, I should have added, the Fool, I think to me just says that this is not the year. What you have learned is this was, not to take unnecessary risks. And I almost think that Fool also ties into that Knight of Wands here, is to pace yourself. Maybe that's what you're going to learn in this is in the cycle ahead. Things don't move fast enough. You get frustrated. You get a little reckless, and you need to pace yourself. You need to realize that sometimes you're not meant to grow at this certain point in time. So pace yourself this year. That's what we have for you. Happy birthday, Jamie's Cowboys!
Happy
Yet
birthday.
another Cancer. All right. Well, Gina, I think we will do yours on Sunday, if that's okay with you. And we'll just
She
do.
said that.
Okay. And I'm about to post a list again with Aries' name on it.
All right. So thanks, Gina, and happy birthday again to everyone who's celebrating their Cancer birthday.
All right.
And Libra asks, should she buy that car? It's a used car. Hey,
Oh,
we've had a lot of good luck with used cars, so why not?
well,
So
that's your deck.
if we get a vaguer answer, we can do our tried and true yes
Or
or no.
simple yes, no, or quick one today. I think
Either of them are tried and true.
both of them are tried and true. I agree. Oh, I'm exhausted today. I had a silver sneakers workout at the gym. I can't say it was really muggy in there, but boy, did I sweat. And it was miserable when I left there. It was really hot and muggy.
I went
And
into the gym.
I got drained.
I went into the gym there to do some of my rehab because I incorporate that into my workout. And it was a little bit muggier, it felt a little different in
Well,
there.
by that time of day, I bet it was. I was still there earlier, but it wasn't that much better. But I'm glad I went. She really put us through some stuff today.
All right. So first card is Chariot Reversed.
Oh no!
Oh my God. I mean, I love whenever I'm asking a question about a car and the chariot shows up. It's almost or when the chariot shows up and somebody says, "Oh, I think this is about my car." Okay,
Well,
let's get through all of them.
okay, go ahead. Yes, let me get the.
Five of Swords reversed.
Methinks we're not going to need a Lenormand on this one. You had a specific car in mind, I guess, Libra, right?
Might have been like they were
You're
all supposed to
asking.
deal.
We'll talk.
Contrarily enough, though, the last card is the reversed Four of Swords, which of course
Means go.
means go. But
I know.
Five of Swords reversed. Okay, find out if the car belonged to a serial murderer or something.
Exactly. Well, just really have the car looked over well, because there may be some things that aren't being talked about, and things that could mean, I'm not saying the car is inoperative, but it certainly could have problems. It could be a clunker.
A chariot reversed is a great way to start that whole idea, though, that, maybe there's something wrong with the mobile ability. I'm trying to think of a word. Mobility.
I agree, Gina. I'm not going to stop. I am not going to stop. And so I think here with the Chariot reversed, I also want to say that if you don't have a particular car, but you're just thinking of getting a used car, like I said, do the research, do the homework, get a car. What do they call it? Carfax? Ask for the Carfax.
Will I get this used?
Oh, this new used car. So, ah,
So I believe they are asking about a specific car
all right. Well,
or a body in the trunk. Thanks, Kara. But yeah, that's totally possible with that reversed Five of Swords. In fact, there might even be
I'm
more
a
than
little
one.
concerned about it, Libra, with the Five of Swords here, too, like Mr. O, whether it's upright or reversed. I don't know that it means good things. So maybe you already want to buy the car because you think it's a good car, you've checked it out, but I don't know. Maybe there is something about the deal here. Something is not right. And it almost looks like you should walk away from it because that's really the message of the Five of Swords reversed. And I'm just telling you what the cards say.
But then we get to the last card,
Mhm.
the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is reversed. Maybe the car is very repairable. Maybe the car is capable of being repaired and being very functional. It's sort of misleading.
Well, maybe not, because I was kind of looking at that Four of Swords in relation to the rest of this and thinking to myself,
It's not going to
maybe
wake
you
up.
should look somewhere else. Maybe you should
Okay.
move past this.
But
And
yeah,
why am I saying
if you
that?
know anybody that's good with
Why am I
cars,
saying that?
dun 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 dun. The cross. Hmm. It's not a garden path, is it?
I don't know,
Well, that's talking about the public, or that's, talking about.
but in relation to the car. And so it's either talking about the dealer, the people selling it, or it's talking about, I had another thought. I lost it. But at any rate, what I would suggest here is that there could be some long term grief with this car. So, or maybe if you're already buying it because it's a good car, could it be long term grief paying it off? Because, I think there might be something else out there for you. I don't know. I'm looking at the garden and for some reason I'm moving it over to that four of swords here and saying maybe you need to look elsewhere. Or the other thing is if you're trying to get financing for it and that's the issue, maybe you are going to have to go somewhere else to get financing for it.
Well, just wobbling with that Four of Swords could indicate that if there are some issues, whether it's repair issues or financing the car issues, and boy, some used cars really cost a lot of money, but or the financing charges. Why are they so much more? I don't get it. But
Well,
it could just mean too
everything's
that maybe
more.
you'll have to work towards it, either making the investment or finding the right deal.
I don't know. It just does not look very optimistic. And I would hate to do a yes, no, and it
Maybe.
get just muddle the issue more. My advice from the cards is to really think twice or make sure everything is on the up and up. Everything. From the status of the car to how you're going to pay it off. And that's what we have for you. I really don't think we should go with any more.
All right.
I wish you luck with that. Wow, the cards have been kind of so far. Let's see what we've got here for Jebison. Hi, Jebison.
What's coming in July?
July. Okay. Heat. Heat wave, I think.
On Instagram, I just saw somebody with their cat in Australia, and they said it was their winter, and their cat was, like kind of hunkering down to get warm.
What? Oh, yeah.
Australia,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
But then they quickly added that it wasn't as cold as what we get up here.
Not keeping the screen on?
Oh, okay, but I have to get up.
You have to get up. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
You do.
Everybody wants to see Sunman. Well, our cats are very odd because Sunman is always here on the show. This is his thing. Shadow's thing is every time I take a shower, Shadow's got to be waiting for me to come in the bedroom so that she can just lay beside me. I like to, after I dry off, clean, get my clothes on, lay on the bed for a bit and keep my feet up. And she's always there. And for some reason, she just loves the fresh banshee after a shower, I guess. I don't know what it is. But sure enough, today again, there she was. Oh, okay, whatever. All right, all right, all right. So, what's coming in July, right? Oopsie. Oh boy. Well, the first card's the Five of Pentacles upright. We're going to get a break in these cards. Let's see. Yes, we are. Okay. Oh, that's so cute. The Queen of Branches, which is the Queen of Wands, upright. But then we have the Queen of Saucers, reversed. Two queens. What do you got there, Mr. O?
The child and the heart.
And the heart. Oh. Well, I don't know if this is taking on kind of a love tone or, business or financial tone. I sense a little, it could be either way here. But let me start with the social thing because I really feel it somehow. The Five of Pentacles can sometimes be about feeling left out or feeling alone. And not sure where to turn or who you have to turn to, or if you're in a relationship right now that may be troubled, if you can turn to the person you're with. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I didn't know if you were done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Um, well, somewhere in July, maybe even earlier in July, it just feels like you're still not exactly sure where you belong, or you're feeling like you're ostracized, or you're not connected with people you need to be or would like to be. And in some ways, I wonder if you just are involved in a situation where you're starting off fresh in a way, like maybe you have a new job or new position, or maybe you moved or something like that. And so it's getting acquainted with things, but it could be something else too. It could just be that maybe this is a notable shift in one or more relationships.
I'm going to jump to the next card, to the last card, because I really do think it fits with the Five of Pentacles here in a way. I feel here that you could allow the situation, maybe in July, it's going to be making you feel really blue. Or, on the other hand, it could close you off, to people you love or your friends, person that you're involved with. You may feel kind of detached because you don't feel like you're getting the attention that you deserve. But that's where the middle card comes in, and I'll get to that later. Maybe
What is that middle card?
it's the Queen of Wands.
Ah, okay, so there are
Yeah.
two queens.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm feeling that this has more to do with your personal relationships. I don't
Yeah, I
know
think so.
if it's the same one, but and I do think that maybe, this could be you feeling ostracized or out of sorts with people you normally are not. That maybe, somebody seems to have mixed opinions or emotions about something that might have happened. I don't know if there was maybe some recent, personality clash of some sort, or somebody feels that maybe there was something competitive happening and it sort of pushed you or other people to one side or the other. But a lot of this does have the sense of being a personal situation where maybe people are needing a kind of time out from each other, or some of them are.
Well, it's a great question, Gina. I can't wait to get to that. And the Queen of Wands to me, the Queen of Wands is interesting here because, okay, on the one hand, you feel left out or ignored or just unable to connect with people. It's making you feel blue or maybe closing you off even more because sometimes we get the attitude of who needs them then, but the Queen of Wands here is indicating, okay, this is a time for you to just try to show your best side. This is not a time to wallow in depression. This is a time for you to stand tall, stand proud of who you are, and shine that light. Shine that light so that people can't ignore you.
Well, when I think
Would you
about
like that?
when I think about what you said, I
Yeah.
almost wonder if maybe this does pertain to something that's maybe a little bit more professional and less personal. Like maybe it could be coworkers and there's a tiff in the coworkers area and people are being asked to draw sides or to take sides. But it could also be the same thing within, a community of friends or something like that too, where maybe there's something that's dividing or factioning people, and maybe people are having a hard time deciding which side they want to be on or to be true, to what they feel the real, core issues are.
And I guess my advice with the Lenormand would be to take things slow in July. Whether it's with your relationships, be slow, be soft with people. You have the heart here. So whatever's going on, it may not be a deliberate slight to you. It may not be deliberate. There may be reasons why people are not giving you the attention or the love that you feel you deserve, whether it's in business or in your professional life. Take it all slow and take it with gentleness. Do you have anything with the Lenormand?
No, I think that's pretty astute there. It really feels like, whether wherever it happens, it's happening with people who do have a certain amount of respect or care for each other. So whether that's, your family or your friends, your church or, your coworkers, but it feels like, maybe you're the one who's in the middle there between different factions. That's that first card. So you need to try to move quietly or slowly, like Banshee says, and with respect in all of these encounters.
Wow, sounds like a difficult. You know what, though? Let's not forget, Jefferson, that in July, Mercury is going retrograde. So this could have something to do with what's going on here, too. My advice is take it slow. Don't, if you could put off doing something new in the month of July or starting something new, that would probably be a good idea. But, hang in there. It won't last forever. And I wish you luck with this. Good luck.
Right.
All right. And I just got a lot of hair everywhere. Gina is up.
You took your own advice.
All right. Well, it
Why?
is definitely an interesting question. It's too bad I don't have my unbridled spirit, my horse tarot to use. I put it aside for now. It's really awesome. But I do want
It's
to
my
use.
deck.
Oh, it's your deck? Oh, okay. It
Or,
is your deck, isn't it?
yes, because you.
Sorry, I was going to use the dream. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay.
He's going to use the haunted house. I like that. But you know what? Depending on what the cards say, I might add a special message to this reading from whoever it is. Okay. Is there anything special you want to do to answer this question? Because she's asking a who? Are we looking for court cards or is there anything?
I don't know.
Do you want, let's throw the three cards and
Defer to your advice on that.
let's throw the three cards and see. I have another idea if it's not clear by the cards we get.
Oh, I should have used my ghost tarot.
Well, there's that. You have a haunted house tarot.
It's the haunted house tarot.
We've got a number of ghost tarots. different kind.
Or spirit tarots.
Spirit tarots. I got one called the Ghost and Spirit Tarot. I usually bring it out later in the season. Once in a while, I bring it out off season.
Okay. Okay, it's the Wheel of Fortune.
Wow.
I love this Wheel of Fortune too. It's so cool.
Hey, where's Lenormand? Oh, I got it.
And then the next one is the reverse Seven of Pentacles.
First Seven of Pentacles.
And then the reversed High Priestess.
Hmm.
I'm going to be fungible with that one.
Hold on.
Let's see what we get. Yeah, I think those are really nice looking cards. There sort of is a story about a person who's investigating paranormal activities, and it runs through the themes of the cards.
Well, this doesn't really tell us who they are, but
The key. Oh,
those feathers are definitely a gift to you.
right. So understanding that, I guess, is the key, understanding who could do that.
And I think they were trying to bring you joy, just by seeing that. They were trying to bring you joy. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is upright, correct? And so I have to ask here, was there anybody, in your ancestral realm that you could think of who was a real risk taker? Maybe somebody who did some, not necessarily gambling, but it could be, but somebody who took, a lot of risks in life, Hey, no pain, no gain. And I kind of get the feeling with the wheel, there is that kind of thing, taking chances.
And I'm getting a different feeling, like somebody who was an adventurer
Oh,
or a traveler, somebody who, like, maybe even could have been a hobo, a hitchhiker, just sort of, take to the rails and travel.
well, that has its own risks as
Right.
well,
True. Yeah.
adventures like that. I also think here that whatever,
That's quite a while. 6 weeks.
I think that these feathers, could indicate some good luck coming your way, that your fortunes are about to change for the better, because the wheel is on the upswing. And so I do think the feathers, besides being a gift, it's a gift of fortune or a gift of a change in, what's going on in your life.
Now, when you look at the reverse Seven of Pentacles, it's actually a pretty decent card because it really suggests that something says you can do this, something encourages you to get going, something tells you it is time to get going. So if you can think of somebody in your life who was like that, who felt like they needed to nudge you occasionally to do something, like maybe if you expressed doubts or if you weren't sure, or if you just seemed that way to that particular person, maybe.
Well, and also looking at the imagery of the card lends me to ask again, if there's nobody who was much of a risk taker, an adventurer, there you go. Was there somebody who, like you, loved to garden, loved to do maybe some small farming or whatever, grew their own vegetables or things like that? I could see this. I could see somebody who toiled and worked, the land a little bit. So that's a possibility as well. I don't know why I'm not feeling it as much with the High Priestess, but these two cards I thought might lend me to figure out what spirit, might be trying to connect you. At any rate, that card also is indicating, besides the good fortune coming your way, it's time to really maybe apply yourself towards something, some goal that you've wanted to pursue. It's time to get back to work. And maybe that's even the message from the ancestors. They might be approving of what, you've been working on or what plans you have that you need to work on.
Now, the only sense I possibly get from the High Priestess reversed is that maybe it's not important that you know who this person is, but that it is somebody there who is sending you a message, and that so it's maybe it's goes counter to intuitive abilities to figure that out.
That's interesting that he said that because the one thing I thought of here was they really just want to send you messages with kind of anonymously. You know, it's like it's confusing. They want you to maybe think about this more, you know, and appreciate the offering, you know, the offering that you're getting because the real thing, I guess the real thing is the feathers themselves was what you should focus on and not the person who sent it, maybe. So, that being said, do you want to pull
Yeah,
a.
go ahead and do that. Also, she thinks it could be one other person. Her daddy's dad.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I got these cards here. It is, and I'm really drawn. You know, not only am I drawn to Ireland, I've always been drawn to Central America, Mexico, and South America to some extent. I believe I must have had some past lives there. So I've been getting these decks lately. This is one, Dia de los Muertos, that has messages from, you know, the dead. And so I'm going to pull one for you and see what message maybe the spirit has for you. And I'm going to let Mr. O shuffle. We won't be able to tell a who from here necessarily. Um, Although maybe the tone of the message might give you a hint. All right. Yeah, I think that's what, I mean, just getting that High Priestess reverse made me think that because it's like, it's unknown yet. They don't want you to know, is what came to my mind.
Gee, Gina, is it 22 feathers?
Is it what?
22 feathers?
22 feathers?
Or nine, or some other number.
So, how many feathers did you get?
I'm just trying to think of other ways that the message is there.
Yeah, maybe there's a numerological message too.
Yes, that's pretty accurate, I would think. Are you shuffling through them?
Yeah, and I'm going to cut them.
I had another idea, but I'll wait till after your card.
Oh, okay.
It would be just going over the deck until the next court card.
Well, that's what I had started to say to you, but then we started.
Well, I thought we were doing that as its own reading instead, but we could do that. I'll wait till after your reading.
Yeah, this is just the message part of what's in here. This I got two really cool decks, and this one I really like a lot. I just like Mexican art as well, artistry. Okay. We have something called cohetes, number 17, cohetes. Hold on. Whoops, I went too far. Wrong way. There it is. Oh, wow. This is so interesting. Put that down. Put that down right now. You know, the flowers, the bouquet indicates joy. And what's the first thing that I see when I read this? Make a joyful noise.
And the presence of the flowers is magnified by the garden scene in the Seven of Pentacles. So this is very cool. Let's see if I can get them all in there.
Hold on.
Do your thing.
So, selecting this card, you are igniting permission to feel your deepest emotions. Let's see what else it says here. Even though the timing of your emotional catharsis can be unpredictable, do best to acknowledge, feel, and let it burst if needs be. You talk about just as you would with a firework, show and create sacred time and space to allow yourself to explode if you need to. But I also look at that as an explosion of joy. You know, this is about joy here. So cohetes must be about fireworks, I'm thinking. because that's what it means. When you hear a firework blasting in the sky, know that I'm trying to break through dimensions to give you permission to live, dance, be, do, and create all that most inspires you. I really like that. And you know what's really, and here's a mantra for you. My heart bursts with love that cannot be contained, like rockets towards the heavens. I permit myself to express my passion at full throttle.
So you have to wonder which of these relatives really had that kind of thing in their life, especially for you.
Well, I think this is the message for you. It's
Hmm.
not about the relative,
Got it.
but it's interesting too that it's fireworks because this is fireworks season, right?
Hmm.
I'm just like, what?
No.
So, a lot of synchronicity here in this reading. We've got the joyful noise, we've got the joy in the flowers.
Now, the thing that we talked about before was sometimes when you've done a reading and then there's a question of a who kind of nature, you flip over the remaining cards until you come across
So, let's see
a
what we
club
get.
card. There it is. That's a knight, isn't it?
Uh,
It's a horse. It's a knight.
yeah,
He
but
was a
is that a
reverse.
wand?
He was a reverse knight of wands.
I believe so. That's your deck.
Right. So it's
It's a wand.
yeah.
It's definitely a wand because he's carrying the torch.
So there's
So,
some rogue relative, a knight of wands, somebody who kind of rushed in and rushed out on occasion.
well, now who are you talking about? Your paternal grandfather left Italy as a 17-year-old, jumped on a boat to America, did some rash
Okay.
action here that ultimately paid off, you know? So,
And that's the knight of wands.
and that is the Knight of Wands.
So it's your
So
gramps.
I wonder if it is. It
It's
could very
Grampy.
well be. You know, forget the fact that
It's
it's
Grampy.
reversed. What it
He
could
was a
be
young man.
is that he was a very young man. You know, some people might have considered the move he did to be very risky and reckless, but he went and did it, and you know, obviously established himself here. And you got the number 17. Wow, you love the number 17. Awesome. Yeah, the Cohetes. This is cool. This is a very interesting reading. So I hope you got something out of this. I think it must be the the grandfather, right? Yeah.
It's Grampy.
Grandpa. Wow. Say hi to him for us. All right, that's what we have for you. Good luck with that.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and happy birthday. Well, we will
We'll
do
do your
your reading
reading.
Sunday. I guess that's the day before, right? So we'll still be ahead of the game. I wanted to be ahead of the game this year with you.
Right.
All right. Interesting reading, interesting question, and interesting you're getting all those feathers. You know,
You're
I
very
think
welcome.
some odd occurrences happening to me lately too. I don't know what's going on. It's something has shifted, and maybe it's because of that Kazemi yesterday or the day before. I don't know. Anyway,
All
all
right.
right.
So you're up.
I am up, and we are on Marita.
Marita.
Hi,
And Marita
Marita.
would like to know what's coming in July.
Oh, that is your birthday. It's Sunday. Okay. Awesome. Well, if you can make it, fine. But if you've got a hot date with a birthday cake or
Just remember
cookie,
your birthday readings at the beginning.
yeah.
Hope you have a great time.
All right. Okay, Marita's up. And what was the question?
What's coming in July? What is coming for me in July?
I'll use the mermaid duck.
You're welcome, Gina.
All right, I want to shuffle this one more time.
So I might be putting up a Halloween display at the library I work at.
I should have known you'd talk them into that.
No, I didn't even talk to anybody, but somebody told me you
Be
should put up one. And I said, well, okay. And they said, just ask the person who's in charge.
Hopefully, it won't be those sexy Halloween dolls you have.
Which ones are those?
Oh, the ones in scantily clad outfits,
I
need
don't
I
really have a
say?
lot of those.
You have a
What are you
few.
talking about?
You have a few. I can
I,
think. I can't think of the one. I can't.
I dare
She's
you.
obviously a demon type. She's all red, I think.
No, I'm not doing those ones.
Okay.
I'm doing Barbie dolls.
Okay. All right.
Don't forget your sunscreen.
Ooh. It has been so hot. It's going to be hot this weekend again.
I only have one Monster High doll, Draculaura.
Draculaura. Seven of Swords reversed for Marita.
Seven of Swords reversed.
We also have the Knight of Swords upright. Wow, it's sort of palooza. But this is not a bad thing. Swords can be challenging. The Two of Swords reversed.
So they do
going on here.
they do represent, some movement kind of things going on,
Sorry.
trying to, win, the day, so to speak. I don't think I have that one, but I was thinking about it, Claudine.
Well,
All right.
Marita.
Crossroads.
Crossroads.
And the child has returned.
Well, this is really interesting, Marita. Is he on my wand? Here it is. Okay. So for the Seven of Swords reversed, it seems to me something is going to be revealed to you. You're going to find something out in July that's really important to you. It may help you make a decision of some sort, or maybe it's about a decision of some sort. I know you've been, trying to get jobs or, looking for jobs, etc. I think something may be stirring in July. If it's not that, it's something else. You're going to find something out that either is going to help you make a decision or is about a decision. All these cards are kind of about communication and they're about deciding, except for this one. This is about the finding out. But the Knight of Swords is about making a decision and running with it, like moving forward and kind of like thinking on your feet. And this one is about, yes, it's time that a decision is made.
Well, no matter what it's about, it just feels like July has a lot of fast-paced energy
Yeah.
movings about. And for some reason, when I saw the Seven of Swords reversed, they said it's a reversal of fortunes. And of course, it has a specific meaning about things being revealed. But maybe I'm wondering if this could be about, your job searching situations, and maybe you might find out that, something is still going on, still in progress, that maybe, if they might have seemed to decide, maybe they've changed their mind or something else still keeps you there. It's a possibility. And I do agree with Banshee. I think that this is a month where maybe you make a crucial decision. And the Knight of Swords energy says you're sort of moving into a challenging role of some sort. That could be career, that could be, your relationship, it could be a few things, but I feel like the swords are about accomplishments, and so that arena mostly takes place in our work life.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it has something to do with the work environment, unless, of course, there's something else going on, something to do with legal documents or papers, things of that nature. It could also be about that. And with the Lenormand, it's giving me the impression that this is going to take some time to unfold in the month of July. The month of July, this is going to happen, but it may take some time to get there. The child, of course, moves slowly, so that's what makes me think that this may not happen at the beginning of the month. Maybe some of the wheels will be set in motion, but whatever the final decision is and the movement forward will take time. So you're moving slowly towards this crossroads of making this decision.
I agree with
This
this
one.
totally. I feel like
Yeah.
the month seems like it's not moving exactly as fast as you like, but you get this realization that maybe forces are churning here. Things are moving. Something is going on. And so it's just a matter of putting you in the position of being able to finally make this decision and movement.
Yeah. So
Good luck.
good luck with that.
I really hope it works out for you.
All right.
All right. And I think it's Lena. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. And close that.
And it's my deck. I'm going to use my Princess's Tarot.
Okay. What's the question?
I didn't even look. I think it was what's happening. General, please.
General. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
So it's the Hanged Man upright. It's the Three of Cups reversed.
Okay.
And it's the Eight of Cups upright.
Huh.
Panda Bear, the bear, and the coffin.
Well, you're going to be doing some ruminating this month, Lena. Well, I'm saying month, but you just asked for a general. It seems like you've got some
Couple of weeks.
heavy thinking to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man says before you make a move, choice, or decision, really give it the due diligence it needs, and take your time with it. Take your time and look at all sides of a problem or an issue you're dealing with or a certain condition you're dealing with before you decide on a course of action.
I agree with that. I think that there is a concern that maybe you really feel is very important, and you don't want to disserve anyone that may be involved in this question or what the situation is about. And I'm just going to move into the Three of Cups reversed,
Could you tell me the last one?
the Eight of Cups,
Okay, that's right.
and believe that maybe this has something to do with something in the family that maybe brings a sense of problems or sorrow or some things that maybe make people feel they don't care about each other as much or there's unhappiness going on, and it could be related to the structure of the family, but more likely it might be related to how people are relating to each other just specifically in that way. I don't think it's an overall core problem with the family.
Well, I think the situation that maybe you're ruminating about may have to do with others in some way, and it probably has to do with the fact that you don't feel like you're getting enough support in something that you're dealing with right now. You need either more help or support or camaraderie, and suddenly nobody is there, you know? It's like, where are your friends or family when you need them, you know? It's as if you kind of feel like you're on your own here. You kind of feel like you're on your own. And so, whatever decision you have to make, I don't know whether it has to do with this or whether it's because you're not getting the support or help that you need, you really feel like you're on your own and having to make some big, difficult decisions.
And that really leads right into that the decision is to maybe metaphorically or literally kind of put yourself in a path for yourself. Not necessarily about being selfish, really about finding out what it is you need to do to make your life complete, to make it fulfill for what you need it to. And so, in this sense, if any of this was about your service or your role with others, this is saying you have to put yourself at the top of what's important.
Well, I have to say here that he kind of nailed it for me in a way, because the one thing that I was going to say about that is that final card indicates to me that you just have to go your own way here. You have to, this decision that you're going to have to make and everything, you're on your own. So you have to go your own way and think of yourself here then. If other people aren't going to help you or lend a hand, and even if this decision may affect them, well, if they've left you to make it in your best interest. I'm not saying to do anything bad to them, but I'm saying here you have to do what's right for you, and they've left you really no choice in that matter. That's the way I kind of look at that. I'm looking at the coffin and the bear kind of threw me for a minute here, but I think what it's saying is that it's going to take courage, strength, and maturity to put an end to your dependence on this support. I think here, if you really need or are relying on others, you maybe have to put an end to it because they're really not there for you. They're really not helping enough. And so just put an
It
end to that
it may
situation.
indicate that how this happens, this moving ahead on your own, might have to really, be unconditional, that you might have to say, no, I have to do this for myself. You're putting it in to other people's expectations on you as well.
And be strong,
And be
just be
strong.
strong. A little bit of tough love sometimes if people are not, doing their fair share, if it's a family thing, or if, it's others who you were counting on. Sometimes you have to be a little bit tough, and that's that. I don't know what to say. So it's a little bit gloomy. I think it does involve some family connections or people that you are close to that maybe you rely on some type of support.
Right, Lena?
Good luck with that, Lena.
And we are on a cell.
So,
And a cell, I don't remember if you left us a question, so I
if
hope
you are
you
here,
won't. What they
now
did?
is the time. All right.
Okay, a cell. So I just mentioned while we're waiting for a cell to watch us on Sunday too from 2 to 4 p.m. And guess what? We are up to 829. Woohoo! We're just sort of
Yeah.
moving in there as we can.
Awesome. We're marching onward.
So thank you,
Appreciate
everybody.
everybody supporting us. Estelle, are you here? Don't make us say bye bye.
I don't know. I like ending early, so
That's right. Mr. O's going to push us along. So are you here, Estelle? Giving you one more minute. Want to remind everybody to watch my show on Sunday, Material Matters, which is on at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a video presentation to give you an idea of your economic fortunes in the week ahead. And it's for the astrological signs of the zodiac. We are live in the chat only, but we will be, we sip coffee, we talk about the readings, and we chit chat. So,
well, I
guys,
believe we've killed enough time.
yeah, Sal must have just said hi, I guess. Well, you know what, Mr. O, you're going to hate me for this, but I'm putting them at the end, just in
Well,
case
it's
they come
okay if
back.
I hate you for it. You can handle the hate I can give out.
Well, we only have 3 readings left, so Kara is up.
Kara. And we have Kara's question. It's your deck.
Oh, is it down there? Okay. What
That's
blessings am I going to receive from Odin and Freya? I don't know why. Should we do 2 and 2 for that one?
maybe. Why not?
2 for Odin, 2 for Freya? Or are they tag teaming?
It's up to you, but I need to know now so I know if I'm picking an extra set. I don't need to pick an extra set, right?
No.
All right.
Let's do together.
Wow.
All right.
Happy hour is on Saturday at 10 a.m. Don't forget to watch.
I'm going to throw all 3 out. We have the sun reversed. We may still do my reading, but I want to see them. We have the Queen of Wands reversed. What's going on with my cards? Oh my goodness. The Page of Wands reversed.
The birds. The mountains.
Well, I think Odin and Freya want you to do some work here. I'm drawn to the Queen of Wands reversed, first and foremost here. I think what blessings, you asked what blessings they have for you, and we've got all reversed cards. So, but really, the
I
point,
was singular, blessing.
whatever, blessing,
Okay.
whatever. The whole thing is that we're going to look at them that way. And so I'm looking at this here, and Odin and Freya want to give you the blessing of sparkle and shine. Let's look at all these cards here. I mean, we've got the sun reversed. We've got the Queen of Wands reversed. And I think here, this is like a darkening of the light a little bit, but that's the point. Odin and Freya want to bless you and turn that around for you. Maybe they feel that, you deserve more attention. You deserve to stand out above the rest. And, they don't want to see you holding back your light. And so they want to give you the blessing of shining that life. Maybe they're going to throw an opportunity your way to make you come out of your comfort zone and sparkle and shine.
I have to agree with this on some level because when I look at both of those cards, not the Sun reverse so much, but maybe the Queen of Wands is sort of representing a challenge to being that kind of person or challenging others when you are enacting those energies. And so the blessing could be you need to learn restraint to some degree on being that Queen of Wands. You need to be able to mediate exactly how much of the blessing you yourself give to others. That's the Sun.
They want to offer something to you that will help you overcome any issues you have, getting the message out to people. I don't know if this has to do with social media, but I'm suddenly feeling that here. Or just with communicating with others and how you present yourself to others, because the Page of Wands is a messenger, right? And it's reversed. And then we have the mountain and the birds. And I think these three, where I felt these two cards connected together, I feel this and the Lenormand connect together.
Interesting.
And I think here that they want to help you overcome any obstacles in the way that people communicate with you, whether people maybe take something you say the wrong way, or they respond to you in a way you didn't expect, which means to them, which means to me or to you, that really they didn't understand you. They want people to understand you more and help you overcome any obstacles or challenges you have in your communications with others.
Right. It could be that they understand, that communication is so valuable these days. And when
That's
we
true.
don't necessarily get taken for what we're saying, if we're taken for granted instead, our message is diluted. And so maybe the gift they give is to make your message a little bit clearer, especially because there are obstacles
To
in
communications.
communication.
Yeah. So, you know, I think here maybe they want to see, maybe they just realize that people aren't seeing you for who you truly are here.
Mm.
And they want to change that. They want to help you change that. It's not necessarily your fault. It could just be the mediums, I mean, because when we type something, the words are on a screen and they just have the words. They don't get your tone of voice. They don't get your intonations. They don't see your emotions. They have to read what they can into the words that you put out there. And so that's what it is. I mean, we always got to couch ourselves or think about what we're saying because in social media or in an email and things like that, because it can be easily taken the wrong way. So it may not be showcasing your talents enough, and they think they can help you showcase your talents more and bring more success to you, by helping in the way that you communicate your message to others. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense.
I think it makes sense.
Okay. Have anything?
The gods move in mysterious ways, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to just hand it to you on a platter.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
so if you're going to leave again, better put your question in because we will end the show,
Right.
even
I
if
mean,
it's
it's
early.
just
So,
you and the person before you.
yep,
And if you're not here, we'll end the show because we've been kind of slower on Thursdays.
all right.
So Ari left us a question
Yes.
and an interesting one. Can
What
you
about
tell
a
me what the
move,
chances are of me moving next year and possibly describe the place I might move to if you are seeing that movement?
Lenormand?
Um,
Did you give me?
oh, I thought I gave them to you. No, I didn't. All right.
Yeah, you
So,
gave me two.
ha ha ha. So I'm going to use my newer neon tarot.
You're welcome, Kara. That was kind of interesting.
I think it was interesting. It was a little bit of a challenge.
There was maybe only one, maybe reading today so far that I didn't totally see
A
connections
challenge, yeah.
with the cards, but most of these readings, they were really pretty tight.
So it's my neon tarot. I love it. It's
Oh,
very neon.
I have something coming next week.
Figures. When don't you have something going? Angel Rivera, where are you? You need to spank her.
No, you don't.
Well, your arms aren't long enough.
You'll probably want one of these too.
I want to stop buying all the cards.
Well, you bought what? What did you do?
This has been for over a month. This was the
You've
last
had
ones I bought.
three at one time.
Yeah, like you've never done that before. I will never catch up with you. You ought to know that.
It's not a race.
Then you could slow down too because it's not a race.
I have slowed down. I could do much more damage than I have.
You are pathetic.
Uh-oh.
All right, so will there be movement for you next year or within this time? And can we sort of get a handle on
Well,
what
this
it
is
might be like?
definitely going to be an odd one. The Lenormand.
Well, it's hard to use the tarot for absolutely everything, but we'll give it a shot. We might be able to infer something. So the first card is the reverse Ten of Pentacles.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what I feel there. Yeah.
Oh, hi, son.
And boy, I'm so sorry, but here we go with Reversapalooza.
Wow, these cards
It's
today.
Temperance reversed.
Temperance reversed?
Hmm. And then finally, it's the Six of Cups reversed.
Well, it's going to get weirder.
Oh dear. Coffin. Tree. Oh, I don't know why, but I was sensing something too. I wonder if, well, I don't want to mince words here, but I almost feel like there might be something going on in your family that might make you stay or might make it harder for you to move. I don't know if it pretends that maybe somebody has a bad situation, somebody dies, or somebody has a bad situation. I'm feeling that mostly from that Ten of Pentacles reversed. That's the sense of the family. And then these two, the tree and the coffin, they just kind of speak out to me.
Well, that's interesting. I wouldn't have necessarily gone there, but I can see how he did that and why. The Ten of Pentacles to me could also indicate property, investments, property. So I mean, it could be rental. It's about maybe a home. I think here too that basically this is also talking about your financial conditions area. Are you ready to make this move financially within a year? That's the question here, I think. It's like it's almost acting like you may not be in exactly the place you want to be financially in order to make this move. And when I see the
Temperance.
temperance reversed, you've got to have more balance and not just in I guess in everything. I just want to say that. So it's like you have to really be focused on managing your finances, making sure that you are putting yourself in a position for this move, and putting everything in place for it properly. Temperance upright is like this. There's this alchemical magic that goes on with temperance. It's almost like I like to consider it like a card of cooking in a way. You've got to have the right ingredients in the right quantities to make the perfect meal or baked good. So the thing is that are you there? It's saying you're not there yet. Not you need more balance. You need more proportion. Everything has to be in proportion here. So I'm just getting a feeling between these two cards, it's a readiness issue. You're not totally prepared yet for this move. I won't go to the last card
You
yet.
are such a great reader.
What?
You're a good reader.
Thank you, but
Six of Cups
that's
reversed.
right. Well, and that's another reason why he could have went with family. Maybe something is pulling you to stay here for a while, like he said. It may also be too that maybe I can't see anything other than that. That something might be pulling you to stay here too, even though you really don't think it's ideal to do so.
Yeah, I can't say that this is because you really want to. This sort of feels like circumstances
Yeah.
kind of making you feel you need to stick around for some reason. The Six of Cups could be talking about things, from the past that maybe have a bearing on the matter. I don't know if this relates to what I thought that maybe there's either hardship or something going on in the family and people want to kind of stay together for that. It could just be temporary. Maybe at some point during the course of this time period, this situation could alleviate. This
You
is
know,
ultimately still about growth.
it is about growth, but then there's the coffin there. But I feel that maybe growth is achieved once you're able to make that move, once you're able to end your connection to where you are now. And when I say that, you may feel, but I really don't want to stay. I'm not that connected here. But you're stuck here by circumstances of not being ready to make the move, or because maybe some family member is holding you here. It's one or the other, but you are
Yeah.
stuck. And growth can happen once you're able to break that logjam. So maybe you do need that second job. I don't know if you have it yet. Maybe you do need to really, really be serious about putting the money aside in order to make it happen. And not just that, there are other elements here, according to Temperance, that need to be put in place. Like, where do you want to move? You say, am I going to move? Well, where do you want to move? Have you really thought this more thoroughly out? I think you have to work on it more and get all the ingredients in place to make this move happen. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but I'm just going to say right now it looks like the odds are stacked against it.
Yeah, you very much will want to just keep up with us and maybe ask us next month or on a regular basis every once in a while.
Yeah, if things are moving closer
But you
to
have to do your part too. You have to keep working on what you can do to try to be in that position.
right. So
Good luck.
sorry we don't
Good
have
luck,
better
Ari.
news. I think our cards are going into Mercury retrograde already or something. Holy cow.
And we're on a cell.
They're on a cell.
And a cell says, what do my angels want me to know about the connection between me and Tehun?
Okay. Well, I will use this. Whoops. Raven's Dream.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
Well, you're not, according to the cards, you're not ready right now to be able to move in a year. But if you start prepping for it, Ari, really
Yeah.
well, putting the money away, doing the things that I mentioned there, you can change that. So that's what we say to check in, once you've started working more on stuff, once you think you're getting a nest egg together to make this move, and once you think you've got a plan as to where you want to consider moving, I know you've talked before about visiting some places and seeing if you would want to move there. Maybe you've got to do some of that stuff first.
Well, it's supposed to be the right time when you know you can really handle it. The worst thing you want, and they say this a lot these days, so I don't know if you haven't heard this, but they say that most people who have been working for a while, families, they're only 2 or 3 paychecks from being homeless. That if some accident or situation happened, somebody took a bad turn of health or something like that and lost income, it could be just a matter of a couple weeks before somebody would evict them from that apartment or that situation.
Okay, so it's about the angels want to know about Tehun. Okay, the Emperor's upright. About your connection.
Are we doing it your way?
Let's throw
Okay,
3
right.
cards.
All right.
The Queen of Pentacles is upright. That's pretty.
This is a cells reading.
Yep. And the
Good night,
Sun
Gina. Thanks for saying good night.
Take care, Gina.
We'll see you on
We'll
Sunday.
see you Sunday. Happy birthday in advance. All right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're right, Ari. If you can get the right job.
I don't know. Things are so complicated today and things are so much more expensive. So it
That's
may,
the deal.
I can't say. We haven't moved in a long time now. For once, we used to move constantly.
We
It
moved a
seemed
lot.
like we moved a lot in our early days. So, but we stayed in Michigan in general areas, but we did a lot of moving. Anyway, so you're talking about moving out of state. I'm no help there. So this is really interesting, Estelle. So, okay, what do the angels say about your connection? I think it's strong. I don't know why. I think this connection may be strong in some ways, at least on one side. Maybe you feel it. Uh, and the Emperor's here to say that. You feel a real strength in this connection. Maybe your angels are even saying there is a strength here.
I like that. I feel that the angels do feel like there's something here that's communicative too, because the emperor is the kind of person that listens to their advisors. And so this is saying this could be a connection where each of you are willing to really listen to each other.
He's shedding like crazy.
I know that's why I'm not really petting him
So are
at
you
this time.
grabbing it off of him while you
No,
do that?
I'm
Okay.
not doing that. I don't know why you think I'm doing that. I'm actually not doing that. My hand isn't moving. It's just here.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything.
So, besides it being strong, I feel here that what?
Besides being strong,
Yeah, why don't you go ahead? I lost my thing on that.
okay, well, let me think about it for a minute.
I need to refocus.
A lot of this is about how you care for each other. The Queen of Pentacles is the person who tries to make things beautiful, but also, too, there's more than just caring for each other. It's about what you can actually create in your lives. So I think that's part of what they want you to know, that you have a connection that maybe allows for something to be very creative for you between your lives, that you could actually do wonderful things together.
I think the angels see the potential here for a strong connection um, because of that, what he just said about the caring element. But also, maybe the angels are giving you some advice here is to be kind, considerate, caring to this person whenever you can, in communications, in your dealings with them, if there is a relationship or not, and show gentleness and show kindness, and expect that maybe the bonds could grow stronger through that. Bonds can grow stronger through affection and kindness, and I think the angels are telling me here that you're going to find out something from Tae Hyun soon. I think that something is going to be revealed, maybe about their intentions towards you, or maybe about their feelings towards you.
Well, I'm not sure I want to go the same direction because I'm looking ahead
I
at that
see that. Yeah,
snake
I do.
there.
I do.
But I do feel that something comes about that is revealing. It may be something you need to know, or maybe something that Tehun needs to tell you.
And is that including the Lenormand, or did
No,
you
I
want
didn't
to?
go there yet.
Okay, well, why don't you? Because I think you saw something there.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to wait for you to start because you usually do.
Well, all right, then fine. Well, I didn't even do that card yet. So, well, I did. I did. What am I saying? So, I guess what I want to say is the snake is here, which is not a good sign, really. I think here, though, it's saying you may be feel, don't be anchored in self doubts or a sense that this person may betray you in some way or maybe hiding something from you. I feel that way just because I'm feeling the strength of these two cards. The Seven of Swords to me, I don't know. I look at the Seven of Swords, it can be negative. I feel it's more negative when it's upright. I think when it's reversed, it's shining a light on something. And so, is it shining a light on something? Maybe Taehoon has something in their past that they're not proud of, something that they've been holding on to. And once that they let this go, I feel the angel, or they reveal it, like here, if that's what the revelation is going to be, this relationship could grow, your relationship or your connection with them could grow stronger.
I think the Seven of Swords bothered me because it felt like maybe it hasn't happened and it may not happen. Like maybe there is something that needs to be said to you, but maybe they're not really, they're holding on to the idea that you might not like the news either, and or that maybe you might feel that whatever this might be about is a deception because you didn't understand it beforehand. And so I think you have to understand that it may not be that. You might feel that way. He, Tehun, is the one who may be wrestling with giving up this secret or telling you this thing because he might feel he would hurt you and he's afraid of hurting you. So it may be that this would be the kind of thing that won't really come out for a while yet. And maybe Spirit wants you to understand he is struggling with trying to tell you it, or he may not be able to.
Yeah. So
That's what I thought about that.
there's something, yeah, I have to agree that I almost feel when I look at that anchor and the snake that that's really what this is about, is that they're holding on to something and they're afraid that you might think less of them if they reveal it. But if they could only be more open, I think that, things would improve. So that's what we have for you. That's all I can say right
And you're
now.
welcome then. I hope that helped.
Yeah, good
And
luck
we'll
with
certainly
that.
talk again.
Well, Ari, you brought up some interesting stuff there about
Ellie,
your
you're literally
guides.
venting away there, and I don't know what to tell you. I feel bad.
Well, I feel like I have things to tell you if I can, Mr. O. So I just started talking.
I'll have things to
But
tell you, dear.
I think that's interesting what you said about the guides. Um, maybe there is a reason they're holding you back. Maybe they're holding you back for your own good, though. I mean, they want to see you more prepared. They want to see you more ready. And it's easy to say, well, I don't need this or that to move, out of state. But maybe you'd be better off by doing that. So, sometimes roadblocks appear in our lives because there are things we have to take care of before we can move forward. And so I'm just throwing that out there, right?
Right. I don't really know how to address it. I sort of feel you're wanting more than might be really possible at this time. And I don't know how to tell you that nicely. And I'm a Scorpio, so it may not be coming across
So you
nicely.
better listen to me and not him.
No,
Yeah, I tell you.
it's just that I don't know how to be nice, but sometimes I feel things like gifts just don't fall into our laps. And I'm not saying that's what you expect, but sometimes when I listen to what you're writing there, I don't know.
Wow, that was a real
That
Seven of
was mean.
Swords revelation right there. He
There you go.
doesn't know how to be nice.
Wait till the camera's off, dear.
I love it. So, but anyway, hey, where's that bickering thing?
Oh, I have it.
He's got a new bickering
Oh,
thing.
where did I put it? I put it somewhere.
Oh, now you can never find it.
It's not it's not exactly where you think it is.
Oh,
It's not here.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so we can't bicker. That's the bottom line.
We cannot bicker. Okay, I'll put it in now if you wait.
True, and some people have to move out of necessity. Absolutely. Sometimes you just got to do what you've got to do, but that's not ideal. And maybe the guides and the universe is looking out for you in this regard. It's frustrating, but if you really want to do it, then just do it. Just do it now, right? What's holding you back from doing it now? Then I'm just throwing that out there too. There's something. So I would just say let's check again in about a month or so. Just figure it out. Start really focusing on your move.
Is that what you meant?
Yes. Start really focusing on your
Don't be
move.
like us, Ari. Oh wait, you don't have anyone right now. Sorry.
And doing things, visioning where you want to go, where you're going to be. Do you have that in mind already? If you do, then start, just
I agree
really
with you.
immersing yourself there.
I agree with you. People do move when they're not ready to.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things about you because you're an Aries like this one. You possibly could be overthinking all of this. You could be overthinking this, but you are thinking more than a lot of other people think about it, and that is good.
Okay. That is good. Because Aries usually don't think a lot, they like to act. And that's my point. We don't always like to plan, we don't always like to do the prep work. We want to just go, go, go. But the bottom line I've learned as
Don't be
being
like her.
partially on a Taurus cusp here, Aries Taurus cusp, is that you have to be a little patient. You have to slow it down a little bit
Be like Kara.
and
She's patient.
make calculated moves, make smart moves. So
Well, look at that. We managed to
we
make it
did.
to 10 to 9.
Yeah, so hey, it's time for us to say adieu because we finished the last reading we have. And I want to thank everybody for,
Thank you.
the conversation, everything. There were some great readings today. They weren't all happy. And all I can say is that
Prepare for Mercury retrograde.
prepare for Mercury retrograde. We just had this Cassini thing, which was supposed to be a game changer and bring good luck. I've had a little bit of luck in my life happen recently. And so I'm just thinking that, it still might be a rough time this month, though. We're going through some real major shifts going on, in the world, in society, everywhere. So just hang tight. And hopefully next time we'll have better news for everybody. All right. Gotta say goodbye. Take care. Have a great week ahead and hope to see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.